Hey guys, welcome to video 33 for Mr. McGeehee's biology class at Arizona School for the Arts. Today we'll be taking a very brief look at the mechanisms that cause evolution. Before we discuss those mechanisms, though, we need to have a good definition for what evolution is. And most people think about evolution in terms of these three types of changes. Changes in living things over time, or changes in the morphology, which is the shape and structure of an organism over time, or maybe the development of new species over time. And while these changes are all part of evolution to various degrees, the best way to understand evolution from a scientific perspective is to think about evolution as a change in allele frequency over time. So think back to our breeding bunnies lab, where we started out with a high frequency for the allele for hairlessness, and the frequency of that allele changed quickly as the experiment progressed. That would have been an example, if it were real, that would have been an example of evolution in progress. Over the next few videos, we're going to consider a small number of factors that contribute to evolution, and these are mutation, migration, genetic drift, and natural selection. We'll take a quick look at what each of these factors involves, but the next 4 videos will explore each of them in detail. Mutations are the main source of genetic variation in a population. So mutations are changes to the DNA of an organism, and they can be small and simple, like inserting or deleting a single nucleotide, or they can be really large and dramatic, such as changing the structure or the number of chromosomes in an organism's genome. Generally speaking, the smaller the change is, the more likely it is to be beneficial to the organism that has it. Migration is another source of genetic variation. Isolated populations can develop their own combinations of genes and alleles, and when individuals from one population migrate into another, they bring with them those unique combination of genes. That can increase genetic diversity and result in changes in allele frequency too. Genetic drift occurs when random events change the frequency of genes in a population. So imagine a mysterious illness that suddenly wiped out all humans on Earth except for a small group of people in an abandoned prison in Alabama. So as the population of humans rebounds, it will certainly have a significantly different gene pool from the population of the world that used to exist. These changes aren't necessarily better or worse, they're just different. Probably with more Daryl or something. But that's an example of something we call genetic drift, just random changes due to random environmental events. Finally, natural selection is a factor that occurs when components of the environment work on the genetic diversity of a population. So natural selection will reduce the frequency of genes that result in traits that are poorly suited for the environment, and at the same time, genes that result in traits that improve an organism's chances of surviving and reproducing, those genes will increase in frequency. So the result of natural selection are adaptations to that specific environment. That's all for today. Don't forget to complete the comprehension questions, and here's your bunny of the day.